feel-good breakfast show.
Call us on your cell phone.
Culinary Hotline Bling!
That can only mean one thing.
It's that time of the week. It's the Culinary Hotline Bling! Ting, ting, ting!
You get to give us a call on 021-430-9881 and ask all of your culinary conundrums and questions. Peter and Angie are here. Always a pleasure to have you two here. How are you?
Thanks for having us.
Had a good week so far?
So far,
we're only
halfway through.
Yeah, it's so
good.
far.
So far, it's good.
Listen, I can tell you that your work here inspires a great deal many people out there, including one, Louise G. Cherry, whom, when we made and showed how to make a yummy fish pie, actually tried it out at home and she sent us a picture. Should we just show that picture quickly? There it is on your screen.
Oh, wow.
Do you see it?
Very
Oh, there it
nice.
is. Look at that. Look
Lovely.
at that.
Well done.
Doesn't
Very
that just
nice.
scream, how delicious is that good? Thank you very much for sharing that with us. And we hope that you continue to do that. Send us all those recipes and call us right now. But let's get to the questions of the day, shall we? Judy Maroja here wanted to know about making a chocolate mousse, because she tried it. It came out all messy, and it just didn't have that delicious yumminess in the insideness of it.
I think we'll get Angie to answer that one.
Yeah, look, chocolate mousse is tricky because working with chocolate is tricky.
Yes.
So I think the key is to make sure your chocolate is properly melted. Best way is over a double boiler, which is a pot of boiling water.
Yes.
You can do it in the microwave, but you've got to keep an eye on it because it is tricky in the microwave. So once it's lovely and melted, and don't let the water boil. It just needs to be hot water.
Okay, all right.
Because you don't want to burn your chocolate. It burns very easily. It does, however, need to be hot. So
Question.
yeah.
Does it also depend on what percentage of cocoa is in the chocolate, how it's melted, or is it always just on that?
It doesn't matter what chocolate it is, you melt it over a double boiler
Yes.
without letting the water boil.
Yeah.
All right.
Always.
But I'm sure some chocolates are more difficult to work
Yeah,
with.
white chocolate is particularly difficult to work with.
Okay.
And then milk chocolate is also difficult. Your dark chocolate is definitely easier.
Okay, and it's got more flavor as well.
Yes.
Well, okay. No, don't do it. Okay, oh, sorry. All right, let's get back to it.
Okay, so we've got our melted chocolate.
Somebody keep that person quiet. We're busy with the culinary hotline. Thank you. Okay, right. What happens now?
Right, we're going to add some egg yolks to that. And then what will happen, you'll see immediately it thickens up and it starts looking a little bit weird. But don't panic.
And you don't have to worry about your egg yolks curdling because the
No.
chocolate wouldn't be that hot.
It's not
right?
hot enough,
Yeah.
but it's hot enough just to slightly cook them. So it's now really thick.
Yes.
Most people will panic at this stage and
Don't
go,
worry.
oh, hell, it's broken. But it's not. We add our liqueur. This is just brandy in this case. If you don't...
Is that necessary, or is that just for personal indulgence?
I find it necessary because it just thins this out a little bit. Well, and personal indulgence, because, you know, me.
If you're not keen on the alcoholic
you could use a little
thinning,
bit of oil. Or,
just oil.
Yeah.
Or, no, just a little bit of a shot of coffee, actually.
Shot of
It's really-
coffee?
Yeah. If you don't want the
Sounds
liqueur.
delish.
And then we're just going to fold in our egg whites.
Okay. All right.
So, and then you
Oil
just keep
works as well.
going.
What kind of oil are we using here?
I would normally use a canola oil
Canola oil?
because it's not flavored, so you're not going to get that flavor of olive oil in.
What if you added, I mean, just kind of going flavor profile-wise, something like an OBS, a bit
Yeah.
of sherry, that,
Yeah,
that would be
very
nice.
nice,
Yes.
very nice.
Anything that goes well with chocolate, even a
And
nice port.
anything that you enjoy that goes
Okay.
well with chocolate, yeah.
Fantastic. All right, listen, we'll get back to that
Yeah.
other question a bit later. You just keep on
I'm
going
gonna
with
keep
that
on
because
going.
when we come back, I actually want to see the finished result of what
Sure.
that chocolate mousse will look like.
Sure.
In the meantime, we're going to keep our lines open on 021-430-9881, and we'll be back with the Culinary Hotline Bling.
Sing,
sing, sing.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Call us on your cell phone. Culinary Hotline Bling. And we're back in the kitchen once again with the Culinary Hotline Bling. Sing, sing, sing. Give us a call, 021-430-9881. Ask all of your culinary conundrums. I found this one quite interesting, team. So Seth from Johannesburg asked about the proper way of cutting a steak. And Angie, I'm going to get back to you just now with the chocolate mousse, but let's quickly jump onto that question. The proper way of cutting a steak.
Okay, I'm not sure whether they mean once it's cooked and how to cut it, or whether to cut it away from like a whole joint. But
Let's assume the former.
Okay, the former, just like if you're presenting something like this on a plate, you just take it at an angle.
At an angle.
And
there we
give
go.
it a nice, so that you can actually, if we, what do you call it, spread it, you can actually see the beautiful color. So that's
Yeah.
a wonderful medium steak.
So you really want to have a sharp knife that you can, at an angle, just slice through quite nicely.
Absolutely. And what would happen normally if you had like a whole sirloin and the fat was on top, you would cut from the fat side down, and so that your steak would be running with the grain.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
This is a ribeye, so normally the bone would have come up like that and around like that. The ribeye is it's a weird, I wouldn't say weird cut, but because it's protected by the primal ribs.
Yes.
It's actually a wonderfully tender cut for such a higher part. So that whole big bone, but you would just take it away. And whenever you're doing that, you always work with your knife against the bone, so you're not actually destroying the meat. You
Yes.
cut into the bone.
Beautiful stuff, and that looks absolutely great on a plate. What is happening with our chocolate mousse?
we've-
So what have you...
We've just finished adding the whipped up egg whites, and
wow.
you'll pour it into whatever glass you're going to serve it into, and now it needs to set. So that'll go into the fridge,
Yes.
and then those little egg white bubbles will sort of pop, and then you'll get a lovely moussey texture. There's no
lovely.
cream in this recipe, which I rather like, so it's not that rich. It's lovely and chocolatey,
and
but
how
not
long
too
to
rich.
set?
Probably about an hour or so.
An hour to
At least
set.
an hour.
So you could definitely do it on dinner party day. You don't have to
Def-
do it the day
you
before.
can do it on dinner party day.
There you go. Oh,
definitely.
très delicioso. Okay, Lerato Gardner said, I'd like to know how to get the perfect home-baked bread. That's something you don't...
It is difficult
do
because
pretty often.
You know, not everyone bakes bread, and then you're not really sure what the steps are and what the things that you're looking for are. So,
I think explain. We've just been experimenting with, and the one is a starter dough.
yes, with a standard bread where you're buying your own yeast.
Okay.
So you can use your fresh yeast or your instant yeast. Now, I think the first starting point would be to pick the right flour, and a lot of people would use cake flour to make a bread, and it's not quite right. So you need to use a white bread flour or a brown bread flour.
Okay.
Because it's got more gluten in it, and we're after that. So white bread flour, you need to add enough liquid. If you don't add enough liquid, a lot of the time it comes out tough and sort of a tight loaf, and that's not what we're after. We want a
You
lovely,
want
spongy,
airy, yes.
airy, fluffy. And then the important thing as well is to knead it. A lot of people don't knead the bread enough. So your dough has got to be kneaded by hand for about 10 or 15 minutes, which
Yes.
is quite a long time.
Is there some kind of consistency you look for in the bread dough to know that it's kneaded right?
It's sort of
It really depends on what bread.
It does depend on what bread, but on the whole, if
Yeah,
we're looking
if
at
you're
a
doing plain
generalized...
basic bread, it's almost like a pasta dough. It's quite firm. It's not sticky to your hands.
And also, it's smooth and elastic,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
it almost looks silky. If you put it into a ball, it sort of feels smooth and must stretch. Must be able
Okay.
to stretch it.
Shoot.
That's the whole point.
All right, I tell you
Yeah.
what, Lerato at home, please try it out for us. You know, having used and implemented the tips that we've just given over here, or that our team has just given here, try it out at home, send us a picture, and hopefully it works out well.
It will. Just follow the recipe.
Follow the recipe.
We always laugh because
Baking.
my wife is trying to learn how to bake, and it's a disaster because
She
never
doesn't
follows
follow the recipe.
Baking is a very precise science, but we'll be back again with the Culinary Hotline bling. Ting, ting, ting.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Call us on your cell phone.
Culinary Hotline bling.
That can only mean one thing.
Ring, ring, ring. Give us a call on 0214309881. It's time again for the Culinary Hotline bling. Sing, sing, sing. Yes, welcome to it, nation. Nadine, in fact, is calling us on the line right now, all the way from Johannesburg. Good morning, Nadine.
Morning, hi.
I'm very, very
Morning,
well.
hi. I
Very,
want
very
to
good.
know how to make Nutella donuts.
Okay, how to make Nutella donuts. So I'm assuming that would be like a guignol kind of thing
Sounds
with
quite nice.
with Nutella on the inside.
I would just make a donut and take the hole out and put Nutella inside.
When we were on here a couple of weeks ago, where we actually did donuts online, so it's probably on your actual website.
Yeah, on
And
expressoshow.com.
all you would do at the end of that is actually just
Insert
pipe,
some-
yeah,
yeah.
pipe in some Nutella, so you can actually pipe it with whatever you want, a jam or.
Yes.
So if you just follow a jam donut recipe, you
And
can
then
just
use-
substitute it with
Perfect.
the Nutella. Yeah.
All right, so you make it in the way that you'd make a jam donut, and then at the end you just pipe
Put
in your Nutella on the
Sounds
inside.
really good.
Yes, it
I'm gonna
does.
try that.
Listen, here's a question that came up that I thought was rather simple, but in fact turned out to be a lot more difficult when you kind of analyze the science of it all, because baking is a science. And it came in the form of asking how much gelatine is there in a packet of jelly? And I would have assumed you look at the front and it says 80 grams, so 80 grams. No, but it's 80 grams of jelly, so how much of that is gelatin?
Yeah, we were having a little bit of an argument about
What
that.
are your answers, guys?
Because she's a pastry chef, she feels she knows more about this than I do.
She feels.
She feels. yeah.
She feels.
So explain your theory.
So
Ange.
my thinking around this is, it's an 80-gram packet of jelly.
Yes.
But if you look at the ingredients label, and an ingredients label always works from most to least, it starts off with sugar.
Okay.
So it says sugar, gelatine, then there's ascorbic acid, there's stabilizers, there's flavorants and colorants. Okay, that's what's in jelly.
Okay, okay.
But in terms of how much it sets, and it sets approximately half a liter of liquid to a nice firm set, and if we're using powdered gelatine, we would use 15 mils of powdered gelatine to set half a litre of liquid to a firm set.
And
So therefore, it's 15 mils or 10 grams of gelatine in that packet. The rest is sugar and
That
other
was
stuff.
so scientific. Peter, how are you even going to argue against that?
You see, I take it, these jellies have got stabilizers in them as well, apart from just the gelatine.
Yes.
So, but if you were taking and setting 1 litre of liquid, there's normally between 10 and 12 sheets of gelatine leaves per litre.
Yeah, well, that's powder, not sheets.
Hang on. If you take 4 of those sheets, it normally makes a tablespoon of powder.
6 sheets makes a tablespoon.
Okay, as we say, savory chef, pastry chef. And my age, we used to set a lot of stuff in jelly because I'm so old. So it's something that we used to do.
I'm as old as you.
If you then take 4 sheets, which is about 30 grams of powder, okay, so to me that would do about half a litre. This only does about 300, so I would say 1 tablespoon would be fine. I mean, 1 teaspoon would be
Oh, we
fine.
can argue for days.
Oh, I
on this.
love this
Days.
so much. The most controversial culinary hotline bling we've ever had. Okay, the jelly saga shall continue very shortly. In the meantime, we'll keep our lines open on 0214309881 for the culinary hotline bling.
Ting, ting, ting.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Call us on your cell phone.
Culinary hotline bling. That can. Back in the kitchen one more time with Peter and Angie. We got a very interesting question right now. Innocent from Durban wants to know about making a creamy pasta sauce. Innocent, what's your favorite kind of pasta?
Any kind of pasta is like my favorite one. Like if you put anything in it, I'll eat it.
So you're just a pasta man.
Yeah.
Even in Durban, with all the bunny chow around there. I'm joking. Okay. Let's get an answer for you about making a creamy
very
pasta
quick
sauce.
and easy. I'd say half a cup of finely chopped onions,
Yeah.
half a cup of mushrooms, saute the onions, add the mushrooms, saute them a little bit, add a little bit of butter, add half a cup of little tub of cream, reduce it down, reducing consistency for about a minute or so, salt and pepper, voila.
All right. Well, Innocent, thank you so much. You must treat Uma Bebeza to a creamy pasta a la Innocentia. You know what I'm saying?
I'll definitely do, bro.
Sure, Pincham. Okay, next question actually quite closely related, where Penny wanted to know where some recipes require double cream and that we don't have double cream in South Africa. What do you use as a substitute?
We get this all the time when we do cook-offs, and you can actually buy it at Woolies. They're the only place to sell it.
Yeah.
And substitute it, there's not much, but you can use a double thick yogurt just to give it that body.
Okay.
Yeah, you would just use we've got basically 2 creams available in this country. Normal cream.
Yes.
And then you do get the double cream, but just only from Woolworths.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
So,
there you go.
yeah.
Thank you for that question, Penny. Spoorcase wanted to know, could I... Spoorcase Mags wanted to know, could I use a banana bread to sprinkle on top of an apple crumble for a different twist?
You can do whatever you want. It's your apple crumble. But anything is good on an apple crumble. I would just maybe even put the batter on top, and then it's more of a cobbler.
What could work well if you want to use your banana bread, instead of the apple at the bottom, roasted banana and chocolate, crumble your bread over, put it into the oven, you've got a banana chocolate crumble.
Banana
There you
chocolate
go.
crumble. Get in there. All right, let's take this last question from Dorcas Buntle Kekana. What do I do if I don't have vanilla essence when I'm baking, but the recipe requires it?
Well, you can either do vanilla extract. Actually, vanilla extract is so easy to make. If you can get yourself a couple of pods, I know they're a little pricey, but once you've got them, you can keep them for ages. A little bit of vodka, a little bit of sugar, and you make your own concoction. Just get a small jar, put your vanilla pod in there with the vodka and sugar, and leave it to stand for about a week. Then you've got your own. And you just keep topping it up with the vodka.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
And then you've
absolutely.
always got
but
extract.
If you don't have any vanilla, it's not crucial. But what you can do as well, what I've done in the past, is taken like half a shot of brandy, half a shot of rum together, and just added it to it. It
Nice.
just gives it that what an
Little zing.
essence will do to it.
Or some lemon zest.
Yeah.
If it's totally different flavour, but it really works well.
But it's not going to kill the recipe if you don't have it.
Okay, all right. What is it? Is it the vodka that kind of, or the alcohol that
pulls
extracts the flavour out of it, the same way that the...
Have you ever tasted vanilla essence?
Yes, it's actually quite a
It's
sharp...
horrible.
Yeah,
It's like
it smells much
beautiful,
better
and
than
then
when
when
you
you
taste
taste it, it's like,
Exactly. All right, fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for all of your questions, and Angie and Peter, always such
Thanks-
a pleasure.
Thanks for
Thank
having
you
us.
so
We
much.
Have a
love it.
wonderful week. We'll
Absolutely
see you
love it.
again next week on our next episode of the Culinary Hotline Bling. Ting, ting, ting.